Welcome to the Plant Grow REAP podcast.
Welcome to Plant Grow and Reap. I'm your host, Chantelle, and I'm here today with Selina and Daniel.
Hello.
Hello, thank you, Chantelle. How's your day been?
Pretty fantastic, thank you for asking. Got to play with puppies and had a puppy sleep in my hands, and I did not want to move or do any work.
It was a puppy party.
It was a bit of a puppy party,
Yes.
which I think everyone enjoyed. So what are we talking about today, Chantelle?
We are going to talk a bit about the culture champs and talk about how our values relate to what we do and how we do it. So we'll start off with the first question, which is, what are our organization's core values and why are they important?
Well, our values are courageous custodians and community. We do have a little saying that we are courageous. Wait, what is it again?
We are courageous custodians of our community. Yeah.
That is it.
Well done, Dan.
Thank you.
And what exactly does that mean?
I don't know, Daniel. What does that mean?
Well, it means a few different things, I guess. It depends how you look at it. Depends how deep you dive into them. So I guess we can start by talking about the first one, and obviously they're all C's, so we've gone with a bit of a theme here. But we can start talking about courageous, and I guess what that means for Aintree Group and how we try to portray that, how we try to be courageous, I guess, towards each other, towards our clients, towards the community, I guess, using one of the other values and intertwining them. But I think firstly, just to start off with being courageous, I think internally at least, the thing we try and do in terms of being courageous is speaking up, I think, when necessary, or when something is, I don't know, not correct, or someone's doing something wrong, or if something could be improved. I think that's one way of being courageous.
So speaking up.
Correct. Yeah. Even just having tough chats with certain people when you have to, which is obviously a skill in itself. But yeah, and just not just sitting back or sitting in the back seat and just letting things go by when they could be improved or could be changed, I think. So what about you guys? Have anything much to add in terms of being courageous?
I'd say that's pretty correct. I think as well, like you said, the tough chats, like depending on your personality, sometimes if someone says, hey, can you do this task, and you don't really have the workflow or capacity to do it, but you say, yeah, I'll do it because you want to help them out, being courageous enough to say, actually, I can't do this right now. Maybe someone else has the capacity to do so. That can sometimes be hard to do so.
Yeah, I know. I definitely struggle with that a lot. I tend to say yes to a lot of things. But I think being courageous means just being true to yourself and knowing if something isn't correct or being done right, to say something and let that person know. So we'll move on to the next word, which was custodians. Selina, do you want to elaborate on what that is?
I'm happy to jump in, Selina.
I'll jump into community.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I guess in terms of being custodians, we can relate it more towards our clients. And I'd like to think, part of our role, I guess, as custodians for our community, the words always come up in sentences when you're trying to, I guess, use them. But I'd just like to think providing a high quality service, and doing the right thing by the client, and not just doing it for the sale, doing it for the money, doing it for this, that. I think just providing a high quality, being like focusing on things like attention to detail, and not being the best out there, but being one of the top kind of firms out there in terms of the service we provide, and I guess just how we make the clients feel. I think that's something that we've tried to focus on a lot lately, with some internal, I guess, people that how we try and make the clients feel, and
caring.
Because I think show a bit of a caring mentality or approach.
I think that definitely relates back to Shane's initial value and objective of creating Aintree Group, where he wanted to make sure that there was a service catering to, what people need.
Yeah, for
compared
sure.
to going to a Big Four firm or, like we do take attention to detail.
And not being treated, I guess, just like a number.
Correct.
Which obviously it's impossible to be perfect and to make everyone feel like they're their own client at times, but you obviously try your best and show a bit of care.
So internally and externally, it's something that we try to ensure that everyone's like included and feels like they're safe and that they're important.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Which I think, and along with being courageous, a lot of this comes down to just being like it comes down to integrity and honesty with each other and communication, I guess.
Yeah, I think communication is always key.
Mm.
Like with everything, really. But yeah,
Correct.
honesty and just communication, being open, being not afraid to communicate to someone.
Which is easier said than done, but
Correct.
I guess you try your hardest, so which is what counts, right?
I do think we've definitely made an Aintree Group a safe space where if you do need to talk to someone or you know to have those difficult conversations, you easily can, and you're never really like daunted to do so. Like sometimes, yeah, it can be a little bit daunting, but like usually can feel safe enough to ask the question or have the conversation with whoever you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
agree.
showing courage to even try. All right. So next word is community.
Yep. So community basically involves our clients, but also our internal community of our workers, plus any external community of like Camberwell and any of the businesses that kind of we try to either help with our work or get involved with charity. For example, Mindful Oz, Sophie in legal, I believe, is on the board.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, she's on the board, and this weekend quite a few of Aintree Group team members are off to the Mindful Oz Gala, and they did a mental health first aid course earlier this year to recognise the importance of being courageous about talking about mental health and making sure we can all identify certain aspects and help each other in our community of Aintree Group.
Yeah. That's one of the charities that we deal with. We also Graham, who's a big part of Aintree Group, previous partner director. He's on the board of Big Group Hug, which is an initiative that I might get this wrong, but an initiative that provides, I guess, small goods to
And big goods.
and big goods.
Depending.
Yeah, true. Clothes, toys, all those kind of things.
Car seats,
Toiletries, yeah.
prams.
To I guess less privileged children or children
Usually like less privileged and people who are being exposed to domestic violence, that they don't have many of supplies needed to the basics to live off. So
Correct.
Big Group Hug is all basically volunteer based, and we go out there once a year in separate groups to help pack boxes and packs for children and families.
Yeah. And then what's the other one? So we do Eat Up, I think it's called.
Eat Up.
Yeah.
Where that's usually once a year, I believe.
That's coming up soon, actually.
It is. Where we essentially make some sandwiches for about an hour or so. We always try to beat our previous record and just smash them out as fast as we can. But yes, I think is that for homeless people?
It's for children at school who are underprivileged who we provide lunches, like free lunches for.
Okay. I need to brush up on that. Yeah.
If I recall, our record last year was over 1,200 sandwiches in 40 minutes. So we're hoping
We did well.
to beat that record this year because we have more staff and hopefully they bring us more bread.
Yeah.
Because that's
the only problem, yeah.
That's what we ran out of last time.
I guess we got bakers across the road, so we can always just double it up.
It all comes down to
We
flour.
got a Culture Champions budget. We can fit that in.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can afford some Western Star. We might have to go on the cheaper end of the butter. But
Don't they bring the butter and the cheese?
well,
I think they do.
Actually,
They
butter's
bring the
one
butter
thing
and
that
the
doesn't
cheese.
run out. You're right. Yeah.
We just need a system to be put in place, and then that way we can get them done quicker and beat the time. I know Graham and I had a good system the last time we did it, And each time we get a bread, someone would butter, the other person would put cheese, pack it, hand it over to the next section of people to then wrap it up. And we got through a whole bunch of sandwiches.
Bit of a production line, really.
Yeah.
It's essentially what we create. Production line of making cheese and sandwiches. Like
In our boardroom where we have important meetings with large clients.
And most importantly, puppies today. That's where the puppies were.
Yeah. And so can we tell the listeners what a culture champion is? For those that don't know.
Basically, the culture champions are a group of people that span all the divisions of Aintree Group. And we all come together to help enforce our values throughout our workplace, but also organise events that try and sustain those values and implement them, but by also just providing a fun atmosphere for employees.
Correct. And I guess a safe space for suggestions for different events, putting on monthly morning teas. I think the little things that can go a long way.
Trivia nights.
Yeah, and an accounting
nights.
firm or professional service firm, any kind of firm where, obviously the main part of your job is to focus and sit down and work hard. But I think you need those little things along the way, little events, little morning teas, people trying to, enforce
Something to focus on people.
Yeah, correct. That's a great way to put it, actually.
Because we spend our entire, work day focusing on clients. It's something to focus on the team and make sure they're feeling valued, important, they're having fun, and they know that, a job is just a job and it's not something that you need to sort of take home.
Correct.
So you're caring about the mental health.
Yeah. And it's also a good way, I think, to help, especially when we get new staff members come in, to help get to know everyone else that they work with. That it gives them that opportunity that they can have a chat, more than the 30-minute lunch break, more than just sitting next to them.
Yeah.
That they get a little bit more of an in-depth relationship.
To be able to socialise.
With people. Definitely helps. But being able to give employees something to look forward to as well does definitely help, I think, just in productivity. And because I've always said you spend a big part of your life at work, no matter what you choose to do. You spend 90% of it at work, the other 10% at home or on the weekend. You don't have to necessarily love your job, but you should like the people you work with and enjoy the space that you work in, or for the company that you work with. Very true. I think Aintree Group definitely provides that sometimes you may not like the job because, you get stressed, or it's in that, certain time of year when you're just I really, just mentally you're just I really hate this.
Or you need a break.
Or you need a break.
Need something fun, yeah.
Correct. So having something fun definitely helps to bring that in. So for example, today we did organise the puppies to come in from Second Chance Animal Rescue to help bring, a hit of dopamine and just help everyone just have a fun time during the office today to get to play with puppies for 15 minutes and have them fall asleep in Chantelle's arms.
Which is fantastic. And I think we should do that every quarter. Just a reason to spend 15, 30 minutes playing with puppies and have them bite your shoelaces.
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll have to pass that with Shane and Andrea.
Andrea, please increase the budget.
That is true. Or they adopt a puppy and then we get to play with it all the time.
And then we can depreciate it.
We'll do it as a mental health dog, so then you can depreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Assist with us earning our income.
Yes. So for everyone that is listening, let's just name who the culture champions are so we at least know who to go to. Yeah.
So we've got the lovely Katie, who is in Aintree Group Legal.
Yep.
She is the head, we'll just call her the head main member, head
operations
manager.
Mm.
But of the culture champions, she's our leader.
Yes, correct.
Cult leader.
Cult leader.
Just joking. Yes.
She's our cult leader. We also have the wonderful Brittany, who is at reception admin at our firm. We have Laura, who is Daniel's sister, who definitely helps with all of our marketing, all of our visuals, all of our posters. She does a lot for us, to be honest. She does a lot. Then we have Daniel, who's here, Chantelle.
Yes. Me and Selina.
And Selina. Yeah.
Am I forgetting anyone? I don't think I am.
No, I think
No,
that's the six
that's
of
it.
us.
That's 6 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so why did you choose to be a culture champion?
I'm happy to start with that one, Selina. I just need to think of my answer now. I think, I don't know, I don't want to, I have a habit of always talking about how I've been in Aintree Group for 7 years and everyone knows about it. But I think because I've been involved for a long time and I guess seeing Aintree Group grow and, you know, seeing the care that Andrew and Shane and everyone, I guess the leaders that have, seeing the care that the leaders have put in, even in particular to things like the culture, I think I don't know, it's almost made me want to help and like, you know, aid with growing that culture and improving it and constantly wanting to be better, which I guess aligns with kind of their mindset on a lot of things, just being very progressive and always wanting to improve things, change things if it you know, it makes things better. So I think that's kind of why I became a culture champion. Maybe because I also feel pretty comfortable here. I know a lot of the people, probably more than others do, know how, you know, a lot of things work in a way. And yeah, I don't know, just to, I don't know, probably not sounding great right now, but yeah, just to, I guess, assist and maybe come up with some fun events. And I guess I obviously enjoy it as well. So yeah,
Well, I
that's
think
probably my answer.
I think from I remember my interview that Andrew and Shane had mentioned, they were like, Daniel's the one who organizes all the lunches and
The social butterfly.
The social butterfly and like the, you know, the evening drinks. So I do remember that from my actual interview when we spoke about team events and culture.
That Dan was known as
I'll
the
take
fun
that.
guy.
I'll take
Yes,
that.
correct. Correct.
What about you, Selina?
I think definitely having come from a previous firm that I worked for about 18 months and did a uni placement at, coming from a place that was defined toxic in terms of the work, the people, and just the culture in general. Coming into Aintree Group was a breath of fresh air and was amazing for my mental health and just for my well-being overall. So I think to be given the chance to help, like you said, just improve upon the already existing great culture that we already had going, was definitely one of the reasons why I decided to put my hand up and say, hey, I want to be involved to try and help keep it this way and even improve it. And then, like you said, just helping come up with fun events. Because, you know, in the past when we started, it was more just like, oh, like a drink or a dinner and just our normal like end of year and our end of financial year events. So I definitely think having multiple events during the year, which is to create big events created by the culture champions and to run by marketing with the scattering of our little events that we do or that we try to do, I think definitely was one of the big reasons why I chose to
Become a culture champion.
BCC.
to be a CC.
Sounds like a chant. CCs.
CC is what?
Gather up.
Good chips,
I
actually.
was going to say, out there a chip.
I think Brittany brought us some the other week, actually.
The CCs.
Maybe Doritos.
Huh.
No, same thing, though. Oh,
Could that be our logo?
Oh my
No,
God.
that's
We
copyright.
should
Don't do that.
have
That's copyright.
we should have for our group chat, you know, the little symbol, like the little photo. You
Yep.
change it to a photo of a CC chip,
Yep, done.
just in our Teams chat.
Could.
Done.
That sounds very creative. I like that.
I feel like we should do that.
Chantelle, yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually, when we were choosing culture champions, didn't put my hand up. Funnily enough, our entire group didn't put their hand up. And then it was just awkward silence for a good couple of minutes. And then I decided, oh, look, let me be that person that sort of bridges, I guess, the operations team with everybody else, if that makes sense, to give people, I guess, a voice.
That's fair enough to give admin and client services that voice.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know about what group Chantelle's talking about, we had a culture week last year. We had a culture week last year where we all basically were divided into groups and we talked about what we think could be improved, what our grievances, our things we were happy with, and we were all divided into different teams. So we're all in different rooms. I know for my team, the wonderful Nadia was already selected at that point, our leader of the Culture Champions. So someone else in the group had to be chosen. And again, kind of like you, everyone was kind of silent.
Yeah.
And then I was like, why not? There was part of me was kind of just like, oh, do I really want to? Well, I can give it to someone else.
You were both very courageous.
Both very courageous. But I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And I was like, okay.
Well, the reasoning that I gave pretty much relates back to the values of, putting my hand up when I wouldn't say didn't want to, but, wanted to take one for the team and wanted to care about what they needed and what they wanted, and then be able to provide that and create a community where they felt, as you said before, safe and, had like a break from any mental stress that they would have. And, after putting my hand up, I have not looked back, which is great.
Yeah.
I've got to experience closer friendships with everyone that's been involved, and that's been amazing.
Definitely. And especially one of the reasons why the Culture Champs came to be was with the what's the word I'm looking for? With the addition of bringing Aintree Group legal into Aintree Group, it was definitely made to help bridge the gap between the two sections of Aintree Group, because accounting is upstairs, legal is downstairs. There's a little bit of a gap in the relationship. Just naturally. So then having Katie, like you with your bridge for the operations team, having Katie come in for legal definitely helped try and help and fix that gap, which I definitely feel like it has.
I think it has as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And even when we obviously have wealth and finance now, not that there's many in the teams, but one day there hopefully will be. And yeah, I'm sure the same kind of effect will happen.
I mean, the good thing for them is they are upstairs with us. So they
for sure
probably didn't feel that gap as big as legal probably did.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
When they first came.
Correct.
So do we have any upcoming projects?
Upcoming? I'd like to say the last couple of weeks and months we've done quite a bit.
We have.
Yes.
Not to change up the question, but I am changing up the question.
I mean, we can talk about past events that we've...
Yeah. Obviously today we had the puppies come in. Sorry,
Dan, don't go off the script.
Puppy party. Sorry,
can't go off the script.
Bad luck, I am. Yeah, and when was it? 2 weeks ago, we had our one of our. We normally have, as the CCs, we normally have two big-ish events throughout the year. I guess big events that aren't organised by the marketing team and the partners of Aintree Group. So yeah, we went down to Frida's Paint and Sip, which is fortunately about a 5-minute walk from our office.
Is it really 5? I felt like it was less.
Probably not even. Yeah, maybe for me, Chantelle and I actually, because you admitted that you were a slow walker today.
I don't know why you had to announce that.
I'm admitting it because I'm a slow walker as well, so I'm here with you. But that was a really successful event. I think everyone had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think everyone did have a lot of fun where, we get to paint and
be creative.
Drink as well, of course.
Yeah.
And eat. Can't forget that. We had some nice platters supplied by Platter and Bow, I think it was.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I do think the benefit of the events that we run at Aintree Group when it's not like a dinner is that it starts during work hours, that we have a lot more people come to events.
Yeah.
When we close the office at 1:45 to start an event at 2, to then finish at 5 o'clock.
Mhm.
Especially for people who have kids who, if we were hosting these events from 5 p.m. onwards, you'd have less of them coming because they would have to get home to their families and for other purposes. So I think that's definitely something that is beneficial for us because we're more likely to have more people engage in the event, and we'll just have even a more fun time to be like, yeah, we finished early today. Like, because we get to go to this one event.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
No, 100% agree.
And I think what I quite like about this is whenever we do these sort of events, we tend to sort of break up the usual groups. Like I know on like end of financial year parties, if there is a sit down, I know Dan's mentioned previously that we sort of mix up and put people with different members, and then it sort of not forces, but it creates it creates a new opportunity for someone to talk to another person where they wouldn't have in the office, because it's quite hard to make those relationships in the office when you're either in a different team or you're sort of so focused on work that unless you have to talk to that person about work, it's a little harder, or unless you have lunch with them.
Correct.
Yeah, now that we've grown a fair bit and we have almost 50 people across all units, it's obviously like just naturally you're going to have your groups. You get your bookkeepers, your operations, your accountants that just naturally by the nature of what you do, you stick together. So I think you're definitely both right in that the events kind of allow everyone to mingle a little bit more.
Break it up.
But try not, hopefully we're not forcing people to mingle. People they don't want to mingle with.
In terms of other past events recently, what else have we had apart from Bagam Sip?
Done a bit of everything.
We had some trivia.
Lawn bowls
Earlier
We've gone
this
to
year.
the cinemas.
We did
There
go
are
to
a few of
see
us. Guardians of the
Galaxy Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Trivia nights where we've won the last 2. An Aintree Group.
We have
Aintree Group
Yes.
team has won the last 2 trivias.
Not too sure how. Some of those questions did not make sense at all.
No, we need to inspect for potential cheating, I think. But
In case someone Googles the first question because it accidentally pops up on the screen. Yeah.
I mean, look, that wasn't on you. That was on them for having it pop up on the screen and have it on there for a good 2 minutes prior to trivia actually starting.
Correct.
So-
And I just wanted to do some pre-research for the question before it started to ensure we had a point.
On what was
Sure.
the most 6
What was the 6 most populated?
countries in South America?
Yes, that is correct.
Do you remember them, Chantal?
The 6th.
Name
most.
6.
Oh,
Top 6. Brazil, Argentina, Chile.
I feel like Ecuador was on there. Or
No,
was
I
it
don't
not?
think it was.
Was it Colombia?
Uruguay.
Colombia, Uruguay,
I'm just
Ghana.
naming what's another country, South America, Jesus.
I'm not too sure.
That's why I'm an accountant.
Correct. I'm not good at geography.
An accountant who didn't know they counted to 10 just before when I called you out.
Let's not go there. I do have an upcoming, not really a project, but we normally, in summer, we like to host, I actually just came up with the name about 5 seconds ago, the Aintree Open.
Ooh.
So we like to get down and play a bit of tennis. Yeah, normally just down at a local club that one of us maybe has a membership to or plays at, or we can organise. And yeah, that was really fun last year actually. We all kind of, obviously, if you don't normally play tennis often, I think you almost feel the need to dress like a tennis player, like more so when you do play tennis, if that makes sense. So everyone kind of, got in the groove of things. Or some of those, the tennis hats that don't have the visors, that don't have the top, whatever you call them, I should know.
Well, if you look the part, surely you can play the part too.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly. Yeah, fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah, dress to impress.
Well, I guess that's one upcoming
Yeah.
thing we do have.
Well,
obviously, the Christmas party, which is organised
Christmas
not
party.
by us, but
We do have Eat Up. We will have some morning teas between
yes,
now and the end of the year.
Halloween.
Which is very close.
Yes, it is very close.
2 more months. 2 to 3
Yeah.
more months. And the year is done and we start again.
Correct. 3? 2.
Crazy.
Well, I don't know. You're in October. We've
We're in
already had
October,
the,
November,
Actually,
November,
Chris-
December.
Is Chris Kringle something that we do?
Chris Grindle is something we do. It is something that Laura and I usually are in charge of organising the Culture Champs.
That's always good fun.
Yes, and we do use a nice little website that lets people put in suggestions of what they might like or what they want, especially when you get someone who you do not know at all. It is definitely a helpful tool. It's just a matter of getting everyone to use it is usually the problem.
Yeah, look, I guess with anything, right? Yeah.
Even though I've put a very big amount of messages saying in the email, on Teams, please use the link.
The recommendations, yeah.
Please fill it out with 3 things at least to help someone.
I remember I had a really good present. I received a good present, and then I think you yourself, Selina, helped out Cass, one of our ex-colleagues,
What'd you get?
colleagues.
Oh,
So on my recommendations, I put, just for a laugh, I put like a house, put a Lamborghini, and then something else
Shares
like outrageous.
Shares in Canoy.
Yeah, like some shares in the coffee shop.
Shares in Canoy.
Yeah, and then I ended up. She actually gave me a remote control Lamborghini, which is actually, I thought, pretty creative. And
That is very creative.
yeah, so even if you put outrageous things on there, it's still helpful.
Correct. You can come up with a fun gift.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, and then in terms of other events, we'll have our next big one that we will plan for when we return for the start of the year.
Yes.
I don't think we're entirely sure what it might be. It might be lawn bowls again, or we try and change it up with something a little different.
Historically has been lawn bowls,
Historically has been.
which is always good fun as well.
Yes.
Yeah, what else? Yeah, I guess we got some thinking to do.
We do. I know that in Culture Week we will be doing a bit of a presentation
Correct.
to tell the team what it is to be a culture champ and what we bring to the table, and hopefully put out a feel if anyone else feels like becoming a culture champ and representing the team.
And also helping with a cultural lunch to celebrate everyone else's actual cultures, their nationality cultures as a team.
Yeah, that actually, I guess maybe there's more upcoming projects than we think. And I guess, which I guess is a good thing that we have a lot of things that we're always constantly thinking about and doing.
I feel like we're always busy.
Yeah.
Like always
to the point
busy.
where we sometimes forget almost, like when you put on the spot.
Well, correct, because I just even remember now that in November we'll have the next book club meeting.
Yes.
Which is also something we run.
We have a walking club that started today.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
I had a nice 20-minute walk in the sunshine.
Got some fresh air, sweated a lot. It was great. Came back out of breath.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then came into an office that felt stiflingly hot.
Yes. It was also almost like my walk here. I got lost and started sweating and it got hot. And then by the time I made it up here, I was hoping for a glass of water, which the lovely Laura did pour me some. Yes. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. And thanks, Selina and Dan, for coming in to talk about the Culture Champs.
Thanks for having me, Chantelle.
Thanks for hosting.